What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Larry and welcome to another episode of F1 25 Driver Career Mode of Larry Iceman. And we are now in Silverstone, one of my favorite tracks of calendar. Okay boys, I have come to the conclusion that I wanna try something new. In my earlier F1 videos, I've not been too satisfied with my commentating. And from this moment, I'm gonna do rest of my racing videos with this style. Let's just call this like Diary of Four Eye Knucklehead. And first of all, here we were with my pal Alonso, joking around in our motorhome. You know, telling jokes and laughing our asses off, like a best buddies, matching like a shirt and a bum. I mean, don't ask. In Finland we got the saying, olemme kuin paita ja perse. And it means matching like a shirt and bum. And I just translated that. But yeah, in the first place, I was checking our upgrades for the car, and I was really proud of those. Car is really stable looking and step by step looking all around really Gucci. And especially this ERS upgrade. When I'm gonna get this in my hands, I think I'm gonna be unstoppable. At least, you know, in Christmas noob category. But still, king of Christmas noobs. How cool is that? And yes, finally. As usual, practices check. Ahead of us was once again qualifiers in wet. Silverstone was feeling pretty good in practices in dry, but in wet, I don't know. In wet it can be really difficult, because there is so many fast corners and grip in my car is not that good. But let's see, I'm from Finland and we are tough as balls in a wet. In the first place, track was feeling so goddamn slippery, especially Maggot's Beckett's Chapel. I was like a midget in the urinal. I need to be so goddamn careful and stand with my toes. My respect to the actual F1 driver is on the moon. They are doing that in real life. Unbelievable. But yeah, Q1 was alright. Thank God I might be the Christmas noob, but my masterminded brains works once a year and I was noticing that there is no rain anymore. So then I was like throwing caution to the wind and go to cool stuff with nothing to lose. And I hit to the track with slicks and surprisingly I was the fastest. I'm sure Aston Martin bosses were pissing a honey at the moment when Larry Iceman was doing his genius stuff as usual. And if you're once again thinking, pissing a honey, what the hell is this half-blind goofy talking about? In Finland we got once again saying kusee hunajaa. So I just again translated that straight to English. But unfortunately in country I couldn't do much. My racecraft is so poor and Silverstone is actually pretty hard track to drive, in my opinion. At least with this Aston Martin. I mean, even the Lance Stroll was saying that, so we need to believe in him. The actual GOAT. After of course Latifi. But yeah, P9, yeah, I mean, it's okay. But then the actual race came ahead, and I got the trust in myself. I'm not maybe the most talented driver on the grid, but I got heart. And what really was giving me the motivation was that Nico Hülkenberg actually got his podium here in Silverstone. That was so goddamn beautiful. Shout out to Nico, he's special. And what was the most coolest thing, we really first time witnessed that Oscar Piastri was angry. We are gonna have so goddamn Gucci championship battle this year, I'm sure of that, thank God. But now, it was my turn to be special. Let's go out, and boom, here it goes. Like, and from the start, I think I was doing decent, and like Silverstone, in my opinion, was like so much different than any other track that I was driving before that. And in the practices, qualies, and now in the race, there was one place where I was heavily struggling. Sector 2. Oh boy, that slow, wide right corner. Like, I could give my Kiss album collection away that I could do that even one time cleanly. Seriously. Normally I see nightmares about my generation's dating habits, but today it was this motherfucking corner. And the legendary Cops Corner. That's so goddamn unique and cool. I mean, you know, flat out corner, and you need to be exactly in the right place in a racing line if you wanna make that cleanly and as fast as possible. And guess what? How many times Christmas Noob was capable for doing that? Maybe once. I mean, you know, that was still a better odds than in a weekly state lottery. But still, I can just imagine how cool that corner is in real life action. But anyway, the race from my point of view was pretty messed up. I was so goddamn slow. And I honestly think that a turtle can go faster across a safari than me doing one lap in a Silverstone. Every time somebody goes past me, I couldn't keep up with them. But as you guys know, I'm a fighter. I don't give up easily. My race engineer was suggesting me a new strategy, and I accept that, without even looking at that, because the fact was nothing could go more wrong, and the plan was just to simply stop earlier and put hard tires on. And actually that was feeling really good. Car was feeling totally different, and I don't know if it had to do anything with the fact that I was able to drive this time alone. But the car was feeling more stable and it didn't slip that hard in every corner. Because before those new tires, that was my feeling since the first corner from the start. But even though the car was feeling so much better and I was starting to gaining my confidence because of that, the cold fact was that I was still so goddamn slow. Especially when my tires started to be scuffed. A tiny little bit of time in my mind I was hoping the point finish. But the lap after lap, I was starting to accepting the fact that was impossible, without any big crash ahead of me. But then, I was so goddamn surprised. Alonso was there too, out of points. Then, my goal was that I'm just trying to finish ahead of him. That was very hard race for me. I just don't get it. I don't have no connection with the car. At all. But thank God, next race was just around the corner. It's always a new chance. We need to take all the positives from Silverstone and move on. Not corona positives. Okay, really bad joke. My bad. First of all, there was a horrible action ahead of Spa weekend. That year's upgrade, what I was working on to our car, it fucking failed. like why? I was so mad about that one. Because I really think that our ERS reloading, it's a joke. Right, Alonso? It's a joke! Yes, it's a joke, but sadly, we need to wait a little bit more that we can get our hands to that. And if that fucking fails one more time, I'm gonna throw my TV through the window. But yeah, circus continues in legendary Spa track. And to someone who is not maybe too familiar with F1, Spa is a name of the track that is in Belgium. Not the actual Spa. And the Spa is not just any other track to me. To me, that's the most legendary and very beloved track in my head. Simply just because when I was a kid, my biggest hero, Kimi Räikkönen, was dominating in the Spa. And he has won there so goddamn many times. With McLaren, with Ferrari. I mean, man, I dearly miss those times. And that's why it's so important to me to finish good in here. Just to honor the name of the Iceman.
I was having a shit.
Yeah, it's so f***ing late now!
So, buckle up guys, and first is of course sprint qualies. And I don't know why, but Spa was feeling so goddamn nice. Honestly, I was feeling almost like I'm built to this track. After Canada, for the first time, I was feeling fast. It's so weird feeling. In Silverstone, no matter what I was doing on the track, only horse shit comes flying. And then, all of a sudden, you don't do anything differently in the Spa and the car feels so goddamn good. But you know, if things are going with the swing and style, there is a thing called balance of life that comes to remind you secretly and sometimes that if you are having too much fun and no worries and easy going, you may gonna get the biggest kick to your ballsack in your lifetime from the next corner. Oh my god, that was so goddamn close. But you know what, that action screwed my lap actually. Of course, I'm the tough as balls and I didn't give up, even though I know that was pretty much meaningless. I was still second fastest thanks to my first lap. But oh boy, guys, Q3, the actual time when you should found the extra pace and blah blah blah. Guess what Christmas noob is doing? He shit on the bed. Yes, I mean, that was 1 second reminder from that well-known good friend, Balance of Life. If you're a Christmas noob, you should know your role. But yeah, now it's a time to sprint race. And I was really goddamn curious about that, how good is my race pace? Was the good feeling and the confidence in the qualis just 1 second delusion, like I was 15 years old narcissist male on pretty much whatever I managed to do? Or was I actually fast? Okay, to be honest, that's really hard to tell in a only 5 lap race. But here it goes. And oh boy, I was driving behind L.H.C the bum. And I wasn't too satisfied with that. And I'm so goddamn sorry if you're a fan of his. I just don't like him too much. Times when he hit the max in Interlagos and when he was teammate with Alonso makes me dislike him. But you know, like his journey to the F1 is pretty inspirational. I respect his parents a lot. I would respect them even more if they would had named him actually as the bum. Okay, enough. Move on. There was nothing too much happening in the sprint, because like I said, it was only 5 laps. But that was really good practice to actual race. I hope my computer nerds on the paddock has been on fleek and have taken all the little details from my every single slippery corner exit and weird looking racing lines. But yeah, there has been so goddamn much driving, so I decided that I'm not gonna show you Q1 and Q2 and I'm gonna take you guys straight to the Q3. I was this time more prepared and I succeed tiny little bit better, and most importantly, I was ahead of Alonso. A reason behind that why I wanted to be an Aston Martin driver in the first place was that I wanna be teammate of Alonso so we can be best buddies. But as you know, we are now at the moment heated rivals and he's my public enemy number 1. I'm gonna use all my dirty tricks that I've been learned when I was watching Michael Schumacher on Ferrari when I was innocent little kid supporting Kimi. And like, seriously, I started to be really pissed. Lately, in every single race weekend, at some point there is a rain in some part of the weekend. I've been feeling so goddamn good in Spa. If this rain is gonna now screw my race, I'm gonna be so goddamn mad. Because this is now the moment when I need to succeed. I need to be fast. I can't lose positions. This is the track where my hero, Kimi, was totally different animal. And now I need to be as well. These starts always scares me a little bit. But this time the real threat was the notorious O'Rourke. In history we have seen lots of tragic tear in wet. But thank God Christmas noob survived that pretty good, even though it was as stinky as Mariners underwears in a hot summer. But still. And I need to say, it's a little bit funny. Okay, sorry. Some kind of Elton John awakes inside of me. I was saying, it's just funny that in wet conditions, I don't seriously know how the hell that cars even stay on the track. I don't feel anything. I'm just going and hoping that I'm not gonna find myself sharing a deep French kisses with the barriers. But yeah, Carlos Sainz was ahead of me. And I was getting close, but every time I was getting close to him, my hands start to shake and I make a mistake. But thank God, the rain was ending really early. And it was a time to change to slick tires. Of course, my business plan was to make that early as possible. Unfortunately, Smooth Operator himself got the same business plan. But luckily, I got past him on the pit lane. I mean, that was so Gucci. I'm gonna get each of my team members a big ass pizzas and hookers in after parties. That was a really nice job. And what really surprised me, I was fast in the slicks. You know, seriously, me and the project from Jos Verstappen's ballsack were the 2 fastest drivers on the track. Smooth Operator himself couldn't keep up with me. But I just honestly think he don't care. Because the fact is, Carlos Sainz got the hottest girlfriend on the grid. I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't care at all. The fact is, Carlos is the real winner. But anyway, you know what really was gaining my motivation and making a killer instincts running through my veins? George Russell was ahead of me, and I was so much faster than him. So, for now on, I wasn't thinking anymore that, oh, there is a nice sunny day and maybe I go get the hamburger. No, my mission was go past George Russell, no matter where, no matter how. The thrill of the chase was now running my mind. And what was really also making my day so much happier, that my prayers were finally answered and Esteban gets a mechanical failure. I was so hyped that I actually go to the replays to take that on camera. So after the race I can watch that, crack a cold one and be the happiest man on the planet. Okay, second happiest. I almost forgot Carlos Sainz. But to George Russell, no need to fear. Larry fucking Iceman is here to whoop your British ass. I'm so sorry guys, that was the most ugliest overtake ever. I even raised my hand after that. But hey, job is done. Only winners will remember, you know. In the track, Verstappen, and outside, Carlos. Okay, now I stopped that. That was the last one, I promise. But now on, the fact was, when I was chasing George, my tires wasn't too pleased about that, and they were in really bad condition. I wasn't fast anymore, and my destiny in the Spa was just fight against George Russell. Which I succeed pretty well. And that was a P4, and I was really happy with that, to be honest. This was, in my opinion, most funniest race, and finally I really think that between me and Aston Martin there is a connection, finally. Really looking forward to next race weekend. And normally I would be a team player, but Alonso started rival between us. So now I just laugh at him. Okay, that was maybe too much. I got some accomplishment after that race, by the way. That was pretty cool. And finally, I'm starting to get pretty Gucci chokehold of my rating rival. And I was getting so much rating points after that race. Wow, I have never seen so much numbers in my life. I almost lose my whole sight of my eyes. But yeah, next time we are in Hungary on a legendary Hungaroring track. But yeah, it was a blast, and now it's time to say goodbye.